Ekabo, the keepers of tradition, history, and culture. Welcome to the episode of Tales and Tours with the Omidan Mitade. Today, we'll be discussing about the Oyo military might, how the Yorubas battle for the power in West Africa. We all know that the Yoruba Empire was one of the powerful Yoruba states in the history, dominating the parts of the present-day Nigeria, Benin, and Togo. It was a military powerhouse, expanding its influence. Show a well-organized military, army, and strategic governance. What are the rise of the Oyo Empire? We need to know that the Oyo Empire started soon, but they grew to become a dominating state through their traditional trade, slavery, military, and so on. They began an empire capital, which is the Oyo Ile. They build themselves so strong through the political and the military way, and they begin to govern all other states and bring them under them. They had structure. What does the Oyo people have that other states does not have? They have the military system. They are well structured, well organized. Let's start with the Oyo Esho warriors. The Esho warriors are the protector of the king. They are always at the palace, protecting the vicinity, the king, the chiefs, the wives, etc. And we also have the warlord, which we call the Are Ono Kakanfo. You see, the position of Are Ono Kakanfo is a story of another day. His work, his hierarchy. In Yoruba kingdom, we believe that the position of Are Ono Kakanfo is even higher than some of the present kings we have, the present day kings we have. Because some of these kings were under Are Ono Kakanfo during those days. But we'll be discussing about Are Ono Kakanfo position in another episode. The Are Ono Kakanfo is known as a warlord. In fact, it doesn't stay in the community, it stays far away. We also have the cavalry force. These cavalry force are like standby soldiers, always on the field, guiding at the mountains. Lori Apata, Nibigo, always guiding, knowing people of that boy. So their military power is so strong. That is why Oyo Army was able to conquer the Dahomey, now the Benin, in the 1700s, and forcing the Dahomey people to pay tributes. In fact, even the Yoruba people, Titi Kwaomo Ya Oyo, Aomo Babe, the Ologos and Co, they were paying tribute to Oyo. Oyo does not joke with business. They don't mix business with pleasure. They are also the controller of slave trade. I should have said they are the headquarters of slave trade. Because when the Portuguese came, when they came to come and use slave trade, they came to Afin Oyo. So Oyo was the one ready, selling our own people to these people to get their guns, butter, mirror, and so on and so forth. 50 slaves for 1 mirror. It is well. Now let's talk about the fall of the Oyo Empire. The key point. In the 1700s, there were internal conflicts from the Bashonga, the Afoja, a lot. We'll talk about Afoja some other day, and we'll talk about the Bashonga another day. It's a very interesting story you need to learn about. You need to learn from these people, and also there were lots of rebellion among the states. And it began the rise of these powerful states, powerful warriors, just like the Fulani Jihad. And in 1835, the invasion of the Fulani weakened and crushed the old Oyo Empire. That's how we had the fall of the old Oyo Empire. The political system of Oyo influenced the modern Yoruba governance structure till today. Many of the Oyo military strategy are studied in African history. Despite the fall, Oyo culture, tradition, and political influence remain strong in Yoruba society today. There is no story we're talking about. We're not talking about the Oyo Empire. In fact, many of the movies they produce now, they talk everything related to Oyo, because they rise, they cause, the consequence, the change, and the consequence starts with the Oyo Empire. It's just like when we were in school, when they taught us about the war and peace. And let us hold this in mind. The Oyo Empire history is a reminder of the complex and powerful civilization that existed in West Africa long before the colonial rule. It's not just a kingdom. Yes, it's not just a kingdom, but a force that shaped the region history of centuries.